Much better. We're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Try It Together. I am your host and founder, Prati Bidet. You are tuning in for your cup of courage, hope, and imagination today. So we use courage to showcase the stories on this platform. We use hope to overcome, and we use imagination to resonate and understand what the stories being shared. So let's be respectful, let's be empathetic, and let's dedicate our time today to Miss Brisa Alfaro's story.
I love that intro.
Aw, thanks.
Because,
Thank you.
you know, honestly, for me, as I have a brain injury, I always feel like I have to give notice to people and let them know, like, can you please give me a little grace? Because I have a brain injury and I forget things and I'm always on the level that I'd wish I could be. Sometimes I'm exactly where I need to be.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would ask for some grace. So thank you for saying that.
Yeah. Hi, those of you tuning in. It's important because, this isn't just, where people come on and talk and then get off. It's really a safe space, and it's a space where you're able to be vulnerable. And that's how people tend to feel at home here. And that's what I created. And I was just sharing, yesterday Jason was on. So those of you tuning in, if you tuned in yesterday, Jason Goss was on, which is Brisa's, please tell me how to pronounce your name.
Brisa.
Yeah, Brisa. Brisa's fiance was on yesterday, Mr. Jason Goss, and we shared their free gift and their link, www.begreaterofficial.com.
Yeah.
Oh, I love a good power couple.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So, how are you feeling?
I feel good. I'm happy to be here. Happy to share my story.
I know.
And then also I brought a free gift for anybody that wanted to follow me on my journey and after they hear my story. So that's at pinkymoves.com and you'll know why it's called Pinky Moves.
Hey, what's up, people? But one thing I want to say is before I even share, Brisa's bio. Oh, hi, Tawana. Thanks for tuning in. Before I share Brisa's bio, I want to say that when I watched her quick, 15-second YouTube clip of her walking again after your stroke, right?
Yep.
I was in tears because, it's emotional when you see people go through such pain and come out on the other side. And because I am an empath, I was reminded that. And that's why I'm able to resonate with people in their pain, because I've had different kinds of trauma and different kinds of pain, right? We endured. But to see that and see how you are today, it's like, it was emotional for me, but that's just how, how how your energy is pure, that you could cry by seeing someone was hurting, someone was in pain, and feel other people's pain and be in their shoes. I can only imagine a stroke and then to walk again, that's so heavy,
Yeah, it's not a walk in a park. It's not a walk in a park, but you know what? I don't regret it. It was worth it. I feel like everything happened and aligned. Speaking of alignment, it aligned for a reason. And part of it is for me to be here sharing my story with you.
Yeah. Is Jason on? Is that him writing pinkymoves.com?
I don't know. Is he doing that?
I don't know. All right.
Probably.
Yeah. Thanks, Jason, or whoever. So I'm going to share more about Brisa now. So Brisa Alfaro is a Pons Stroke Survivor that resulted in locked-in syndrome. Left with less than 1% chance of recovery, she refused and fought to not let this be the end of her journey in life. Overcoming seemingly impossible odds, she has now made it her mission in life to help others who also feel locked in their circumstances. Brisa's story has been shared on such platforms as the Washington Post, the Doctor's TV show, Women's World magazine, and Lisa Nichols stages, and countless more. And she is not only a survivor, but also an international best-selling author, a speaker, and certified coach in the law of attraction, such as her partner, Mr. Jason Goss. And Brisa joins us here today.
Hey, I read all those things and I'm like, oh my God, that's me.
That's me. That's how I feel. What? Try together.
That's cool. And it's as great as it sounds. I mean, it was work. It was a long journey to get there, and I
Yeah.
did achieve all those things, but
Yeah.
it wasn't always like that. It was a struggle to get to where I am now,
Oh, yeah.
and that's what we're going to talk about today.
I
So
know, but you know what's so incredible? So some of the viewers are saying, that they're glad you're alive and here with us. And Miss Town is in the hospital watching your encouraging story, and she would love to follow you. Like, this is what it's all about. What if we hadn't done this today? You don't know who you impact. That's why you have to get up every day and do what you do and give your all, because we don't know how long we have. And I believe this is a quote by Waldo Emerson, right? Where it's, you don't know the length of your life, but you can only live through like the width and the depth. And like that really resonates with me, because we're doing the work. So
yeah, that's right. We're
I
doing the
love
work.
it. I love it. Where do you want to start? Where do you want to start?
Well, so we started with my bio that you
I know.
thank you. Yeah, so going back to that, like
Hmm.
it did take work for me to get there. So we'll go back to what work did I do?
Yeah.
Before all of that,
Yeah.
all of those things that you just named off, I was a hairstylist, and I lived in New York City, and yeah, I was living in LA, and I would travel, and
So
I
good.
was in the beauty industry. I loved it, and I thought that that's just all I was ever going to do for the rest of my life. I loved
Wow.
it that much. But one day in March, actually, March 29th, I was in New York City for a hair show. And that's when my life completely changed in one moment, right? One moment to another, your life would be a certain way, and then all of a sudden, bam. Well, that's what happened to me on that day. I ended up in a New York City hospital, and I had no idea why, because I was traveling, and I had weird allergies. My face was swelling up, and I was supposed to be on stage the next day teaching in front of people. So I went to the hospital, and I talked to my doctors, and I said, well, not my doctors, the doctors there, the nurses or whoever. And I said, I don't know what's going on. I just know there's something wrong. And she says, what's wrong? Well, I took my hat off. I took my sunglasses off. I'm like, this, can you fix this? I don't know what's going on. So she was like, oh, okay. And then I told her I carry an EpiPen, so I don't know if that's maybe an allergic reaction to something. I said, okay, right this way. And they took me to the back right away, which was a blessing, because while I was in the hospital, right when I checked in and I filled out all my paperwork, I finished filling it out. I don't remember how it evolved to me laying in the hospital bed, aware of doctors and nurses all around me talking about my state and talking about me, and as if I wasn't there. They were just talking amongst themselves. And I thought it was kind of rude. I'm like, why are they not directing their comments to me, talking to me? And just in another car accident, like a car accident came in, and someone,
Wow.
a kid, I think it was, and I remember the doctors were still working on me, and I thought, why are you working on me? Like, go help or hit him. Go help, because I'm okay. I'm fine. There's no big deal. I got allergies. It's no big deal. But nobody heard me. Nobody even reacted to me, and I thought that was kind of weird. Like, just I don't know. It just kept happening over and over, and they kept talking to me or talking about me, not to me. And then finally, I realized they don't hear me. Nobody hears me. So fast forward, I end up in a room and I'm hearing people talk about me. The reason that they couldn't hear me is because I was already locked in. I had a stroke, and I was already locked in my body. So, just to give you a background on what a locked-in stroke is. So most people that have strokes, it affects the certain side of your body, right? You can have a right side or left side stroke. The stroke that I had happened in the middle. It affected my Pontaine. So I developed something called locked-in syndrome, because it was like in the middle of my brainstem, and both sides were pretty much taken out. So imagine like your brainstem is like the freeway going into your brain, and then someone just put a barrier there. So everything that was in my brain could stay there, but nothing can come out. So as a result of that, I had like my brain, I could hear everybody talking. I could see what was going on around me, but I couldn't control anything. So my body was lifeless. Then my family was called over to New York City and pretty much to come say goodbye to me. And my brothers and my mom, one by one, everybody started showing up to the hospital, arriving one by one. And I remember when my mom walked into the hospital and into the hospital room, and she saw me. She didn't believe it. And because she didn't, I didn't want to either. And she was like, "No, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine." And she kept that through my whole recovery. You're gonna be fine. You're okay. You're gonna be fine. And I had to believe it myself. But regardless, I didn't look fine to anybody else because I was laying in a bed like, there was no movement. There was nothing. So one day, my mom thought, I'm going to do something for her. I'm going to play music because the results were less than 1%. Less than 1% chance that I was ever going to gain my mobility back. So why are you keeping her alive, basically? My mom was like, I'm going to do whatever I can. She played music for me. She would talk to me. Everybody that came into the room made sure that nothing negative ever entered my brain. So every conversation, everybody was laughing around me. Everybody was talking to me as if I was already okay. They were talking to me like, oh my gosh, when you get out of here, we're going to go do this. We're going to do that. Remember when you did this? Remember that? Constant happiness, constant positive emotions was flooding to me, and trying to get them to realize that I had the power within me. They just had to help me reconnect. And that happened through one of the things that my mom tried. My mom played an audiobook, and that audiobook was The Secret. And The Secret focuses on the law of attraction. And what you focus on grows, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to heal completely. I wanted to show my family that I was not hurt at all laying in this hospital bed. And I remember there was something that I heard from Lisa Nichols. And she said, the first step is to ask, make a command to the universe. The universe responds to our thoughts. And thoughts were all I had. So I had to realize that if I want that result, then I need to become that result. I need to think of that result and nothing else. I need to think nothing but positivity because I want to become that, right? I have the power of my mind and my thoughts. I don't have my body, but I have the power of my mind and my thoughts. That's all I have. So if I could work on cleaning that up, and that could be the result of my life, then that's what I'm going to try. I'm going to do anything I have to do. And that's what I did. And then as a result of that, one day my family was around in the room, we're all talking, and I had many times tried to come through to show them that a sign that I was still in my body. Well, one day they were all talking, and I flickered my pinky, and they all were like, wait. You just flickered her pinky. She's moving. So they all freaked out. They came in the room, like my family was like, do it again. Do it again, Brisa. Do it again. And the way I could describe it was like an energy beam. This energy beam come from my brain, kind of onto the barrier that is in my pons. And it went through, made it through that barrier, went all the way down to my pinky. And I finally got it to my pinky one time. Then they asked me to do it again. Now I'm doing that all over again. That energy beam is going all the way down. Now it's like stalling. And now they're like, wait, Brisa, we're going to go get the doctor. So they go get the doctor. My mom tells, my daughter's moving. Tells the doctors, my daughter's moving. My daughter's moving on command. Go check her. And you know what the doctor says? Those movements are involuntary. I know you want to do that. But those movements are involuntary. It just makes me think, like, how many times do our efforts go unnoticed? We work and work and work and work.
Wow.
Our efforts are unnoticed. But just because they're unnoticed doesn't mean that we need to stop. Doesn't mean that we need to stop trying. We got to keep going. And so I had to keep going, even though they didn't believe it. Finally, they came in and they're like, all right. Brisa, as you're moving, show us a sign. Show us a sign. I gathered all of the energy that I had within myself in the room, all the prayers and energy that was vibrating to me from people all around the world that, you know, I knew and I didn't know. I remember being in the locked in state. The janitor of the room, she would come in. I didn't even know who she was. And she came to me and held my hand one day and just prayed over me. And she didn't know whether or not I was aware or I knew. But till this day, I remember it. She was I don't remember what she looked like, but I remember she had a beautiful Jamaican accent. And she came into my room and she just prayed over me. And I felt it. And so I used her energy. I used my doctors, my nurses, everybody in the waiting rooms. Everybody was waiting for hope. I used all that energy. And I was able to make that connection, flicker my pinky one more time so that my doctors could see that I was still in my body. I just needed time. I just needed more people to believe in me. I needed to believe in myself. I needed to know that I could do it. And I did it. And after that, it was a huge celebration. Like my family erupted. And now all I talk about, everything I do in life is going to be a series of pinky moves. Moves and celebration. Because that's how it gets done. That's how it's done. Right? We have to do, because after I moved my pinky, of course there had to be a series of other things that had to happen. Right? I had to learn how to lift my own head in the hospital bed. Then I had to learn how to move the right side of my body, my right arm and my right leg. My left leg 2 months later. But every single thing that I did was a series of pinky moves. Little bits, and celebrate them. Every time we do something, we have to stop and say, well, yeah, I moved my pinky, but I didn't walk out of the hospital. We can't do that. We have to celebrate it. If I didn't get celebrated for my pinky move, I wouldn't have been able to sit up in a wheelchair, walk with a walker, walk with a cane. Later unassisted, I wouldn't have been able to do all those little progressions because everything we did, every time I released something, like I was able to stand up on my own without any assistance. This was years later. I was celebrating that. When I was able to drive again, I would celebrate that. Every little tiny thing that I did, I celebrated as a pinky move, but I celebrated it. And I still do them today because a series of those micro moves compounded will lead to limitless results. Limitless. Because honestly, all of us here, we are limitless. Our possibilities are limitless. There's no cap on what your possibilities are. There's no cap on when somebody else says that that's probably as good as it can get for you, or this is great, you should be happy with this. That's their limiting beliefs that they're placing on you. It's your decision to take it and decide for that it is going to be, you're going to be limited to that. Now, if you decide, well, thank you for that information, but I don't want to take it. I know I'm worth more than that, and so I'm not going to stop. And I think if more people just didn't stop, because we never know how close we are. I mean, what if I decided I'm done, because it was exhausting. It was, I was tired. I didn't know. I didn't want to do that anymore. Like, I was tired. And there's so many times that I was just like, I don't know. I remember back, I was in therapy, and my doctor, I said, Doc, when am I going to get my left side of my body back?
Wow.
And he said, Brisa, if you never gain movement on the left side of your body, it's okay. It's okay. A lot of people go on living with the left side of their movement, or their left side of their body ever regaining full movement again. And I understand that is a real thing. It does happen. But I didn't want it to happen to me. And if I can control my own thoughts, and I didn't want to let those limiting beliefs that have I don't know, shown up in other people and shown up in my doctors and what they believe that I'm limited to, then I would be limited to it.
Yes.
I didn't want that. So I kept going. And regardless, I was like, okay, at first, sometimes we're going to use other people's limiting beliefs to fuel ours. And that's what I did. So sometimes it's not about rainbows and butterflies, all is great, just believe in yourself. No, sometimes you gotta get mad. Sometimes you gotta just realize, like, sometimes it's gonna fuel you. And then later let it evolve to something more beautiful. You don't need that. You do it for you. You don't do it.
Wow. Just powerful. You know, the one thing that you focused on is, you know, the pinky moves. And it's like a lot of us focus on, you know, our culture, Western culture. It's like we want instant food, instant finances, you know, wealth, abundance, spirituality, everything instant. Like, go to the higher level without doing the work. And that's something I'm learning as an entrepreneur. Like, we have to put in the effort and the consistency, the commitment, the persistence, all in the beginning, and then build up. But it's like you're living out the small steps, and everything you're able to be like, show gratitude, as Jason, your fiance, is mentioning yesterday, for everything as you move on up. And most people don't focus on that. So I feel like it's different. What you guys do at Be Greater Official is different, because you're focusing on, hey, you're here, let's work with you while you're here, instead of focusing on what a universal here would be. It's like individually different for everyone.
It is.
I think it's great. And you're so right about what the doctor's limiting beliefs are, because it's like they're so okay and content with, oh, it's okay if you don't have the usage of this. Most people don't even have what you have now. But it's like, no, I want to be whole again. Like, I want all my normalcy. It's like, who are you to tell me? And that's the thing with doctors. It's like when they tell you, oh, your family member is not going to make it, things of that nature. People want to pull the plug early and give in because of what doctors say. But it's like, you have to fuel and feed that encouragement, like you said, and your family did that. And I still believe that, you know, people can hear us whether we know or not. Like, right, your family didn't know if you could, they could get through to you, and same with the nurse. But this reminds me of like when my grandfather was passing away, that it's like I held his hand by his bedside, And when he was going, it's like I was there crying, but it's like maybe he knows I'm here, maybe he doesn't. I don't know before that if he remembered my name, but you could talk to him. It's like you just don't know if people can hear you. Same with when I had other family members pass, but it's like in spirit, right?
It is.
When you were going through that time, it's like, did you feel a lot of suffering and pain, the fact that, hey, they can't hear me? Or were you content knowing that, hey, like my mind is still working, I can still control my thoughts? Like, how were you there?
I was kind of both. Like,
Yeah.
it was in the beginning, before I realized that I was locked in.
Mm-hmm.
I was in this state of, okay, I realized that I liked what I was feeling on the other side, and it was almost like magnetic. I was being drawn to it. It felt so good, felt so whole, felt so pure. But I also heard the voices of my family members. And one by one, like, I didn't remember so much who they were as a person, but I felt their love. And I missed their love for some reason. Like, I was feeling, when you're about to say goodbye to a family member that's going on a trip, or you're not going to see a friend for a long time because they're moving away out of country, and you just are in that state of like, I'm going to miss you. And that's how I felt. And I just kept feeling that. And I'm like, but I don't want to miss them. I don't want to miss them. And I kind of got this sense of like, you don't have to miss them. You don't have to miss them, and you don't have to miss you. And I reconnected with their emotion, not the person. I reconnected with all that, and realizing when I came back, it's almost like I knew that everything was going to be okay. Everything. Like, for instance, in my therapy, they would try different techniques and things, and I would do them because they said that this is what we're supposed to do, but I always knew I was going to be okay. So they would put a sling in my arm, or they would try to put a brace on my arm or on my leg, and they would say, "This is what we got to do." Well, there were some of those things I was like, "No," and at that time I was trach, so I couldn't speak. The breathing for me. And I just kept shaking my head. No, like I didn't want it. I didn't want it. No, it was not going to happen. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Life.
I thought that was from my end.
Hold on. Sorry. No, that's not mine. This is life. Okay, so I'll give you guys. I'll go outside.
Oh, I love it. Sunshine, like me.
Okay, so I live in a camper.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, that thing goes off, and I'm like, in the middle of the night. It's kind of scary in the middle of the night, but it's fine.
I love it.
Can you hear me good?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I'm gonna do the rest out here.
Yeah.
Listen, all is perfect. EIP always says that. We learn that EIP, everything is perfect. So
yes.
And that's the reason that while I was going through everything, I did feel that like everything is perfect. It doesn't matter. So when they were fitting me with my braces and my leg thing, the brace in the arm, what do you call those things?
I believe it's I know what you're saying. It hangs.
Like a sling thing.
Sling, there you go.
Yeah. I knew everything was perfect. I was like, no, I was shaking my head. No, I didn't want it because I was like, it's gonna be fine. Sorry, I'm like in the sun. whatever. Everything's perfect.
I love it.
But yeah, like I honestly think everything in my recovery has led up to that. So that saying EIP, everything is perfect, because when I had the stroke, when I had my struggles, through all of my struggles, I had to remind myself, it's okay. Like, remember who you were then. Remember what you did then, just with a pinky move. Why can't you get through this now with the pinky move? Right? Well, I have to remind myself that sometimes. So
Wow. So
sometimes
good.
the daily life stuff comes up. Like I've had 7 surgeries on my airways.
God.
And and I don't know if I'm gonna ever, need another one or not, and I might. But even if I do, everything is perfect. Everything is gonna work out, because I feel like I believe wholeheartedly that everything happened for a reason, and it's for me to share my story. It's for me to be able to be on your platform with
Oh.
you, to be able to share it with your people, so that they don't give up. I mean, life happens, right? Like just right now, our alarm went off. Life happens. So those things happen. I was going through in my recovery. One thing led to another. Something would happen and yesterday Jason was talking about what's in your energy and not in your energy. And sometimes when we're trying so hard to recover, when we're trying so hard for it to be perfect, when we're trying so hard for things to work out, that's when things like, have you ever been driving and you're like thinking about, oh, I'm gonna be late. I'm gonna be late. I'm probably gonna get every red light. I'm probably gonna get in traffic. There's probably gonna be, all these things. Those things happen. There's an accident. We're getting red lights. We're getting behind the slowest pole on the road. We're like, drive, full drive. That's right. We're putting it out there. And when Jason and I started dating, this this always happened to him. he would he would get every red light. Every red light would come. Of course, of course. And I would tell him, because you're putting it out there. You're expecting it to happen, because the universe will work in either way. The universe doesn't know whether you want more of it, or because you're putting that energy out. So it doesn't know whether you don't want it or you want more of it. You're just focusing on that energy. So you're thinking of red lights, red lights, red lights, and you're gonna get those red lights. Think of green lights, green lights, green lights. That's what you want. That's why. Have you ever met someone? Sorry, I'm outside motorcycle.
It's okay. Me too.
Oh, perfect. And now I need a little chai tea.
Chai together.
Yeah. So have you ever noticed? Oh dang! So I have short-term memory.
It's okay. Take your time. We wait all day for you.
Every once in a while, I have a really great thought. What was I going to say?
It's okay. First, you're mentioning the green lights. You're like, think green light, green light, green light. And then you were going to give an example. Oh. It's okay.
I don't remember. But that's
how old are you? How old are you?
Okay, so I was 32 when I had my stroke. I am 39 now.
Wow, you're same as Jason's age?
Yeah. We're the same age. We're both in May.
Wow. What? Look at everything is perfect.
That's right. That's right.
Wow.
But I don't remember what I was gonna say. So you are
okay. Tell us, what you're working on now, and like, what is your dream? Like, what do you want to do? You're something that's gonna outlive you. Like, what is the impact you want to make?
Oh, the dream. I have such big dreams.
Oh, yay.
Sometimes it's a little scary to say them out loud because I'm like, ooh, have you ever had one of those dreams where you're just like, your purpose, what you're meant for, and
Mm,
and you don't say them out loud. And
right.
I think that's where we need to realize, like, we got to say our dreams out loud. We got to
Mm,
talk about them because just like attracting red lights, I want to attract my dreams.
mm,
So, like, I don't want to attract red lights. I want to attract my dreams. So I'm going to talk those out loud. I'm not going to say, like, I'll probably get a red light. No, I know my dreams are going to come true. I know all the things that when I was writing my book.
mm,
So I always said that I'm going to write. I'm going to write a book. I don't know how. I don't know where. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm
mm.
going to do it.
That's
And I
right.
did it. I did
Yeah.
it. I did
Yeah.
it. Then look what the universe did. I became an international #1 bestseller. What? Then I was like, well, I'm going to help people all around the world. How am I going to
Wow.
do that? I don't know how I'm going to do that. But the how doesn't matter.
No.
The how doesn't matter.
No.
Put it out there. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
So what did I want to do? I wanted to inspire people all over the world. And I had an opportunity to do that I was invited to the Doctor's TV show to share my story. What? I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. But that's the universe. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter how crazy it sounds to us. The universe will deliver exactly what we're asking for. So
Mm,
I started dreaming bigger and I started thinking, what if I can impact like the world and help
mm,
other stroke survivors? Because I get messages from stroke survivors all over the world and asking me, how did you do it? How did you do it? It's not just any one thing. It's a series of things,
that's
and a
right.
lot of it was cleaning up my thoughts. A lot of it was using the law of attraction.
Mm,
A lot
yeah.
of it was just like it was a series of visualization and imagery and all these things and like when people talk about vision board,
Mm,
that's no joke. I mean, vision boards really do work,
they do. They
and
do.
that's what I had when I was in the hospital. They put a vision board up for me, so I was able to
Wow.
see um, who I wanted to be in a healthy state. They put pictures. They didn't
Mm,
even know that it was a vision board, but they put pictures of me in a healthy state. They put pictures of me of what I wanted to achieve, and I knew that's the girl I want to be again. And so I worked to achieve her, and then I became her again. So
wow.
I feel like it's been a series of things, and I had to like package it up and so that I could deliver it to the world. And I said I wanted to inspire the world. That was my dream. And then not too long, a couple weeks ago, I just released my course, my
Wow.
limitless course for stroke recovery, for limitless stroke recovery, and it's been an amazing journey. I'm like, I did that. Wow,
I know.
it's
Like I did it.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So one thing after another, we just keep doing it. We keep leveling up and celebrating it.
Oh my
Pinky
God.
Moon, celebrate it. So many times we will say, oh, like even women do this a lot. They
Mm,
can put on like a fierce outfit, look so good, and they go out, and then someone says, "Oh my God, you look beautiful. That you look
mm.
amazing." And then what's the first thing they do? Thank you, but I gained a bunch of weight, or thank you, but
Yeah.
not this,
Right.
or thank you, but my makeup didn't come out. Like, no, don't worry about all that. Like, we need to accept our abundance. We need to
Mm,
step into who we are, who we work for, and celebrate ourselves. Like, yeah, I put this on and I look good,
mm,
and feel it, feel that positivity, because I remember when people started sharing my pictures when I was going through my stroke recovery. I was before that, because I worked in the beauty industry. I was all about beauty and like like everything, my hair, my makeup, my clothes, like everything got to be perfect. And then when they started, like after my stroke, people would put out pictures of me in the hospital or learning how to walk and learning to walk without my walker. Meanwhile, I didn't have makeup on and my hair was a mess. But I was like, but that's me. That's me. I'm proud. I'm proud that I got to walk. I'm proud that I am walking unassisted. I don't have makeup on, and I don't care. I don't care that I look that way because I'm proud of this right now. So this is what I want. I hope that people will see. And when they put it out there, I hope they see that. And they do. They do see that. Like right now, what we're talking about, nobody really is going to remember the alarm going off in my camper. They're
Yeah.
they're going to remember the nuggets that they picked up from our conversation. They're going to remember the pinky moves. And when they go through life and they start beating themselves up because they're not at the level that they wanted to be, they're going to remember all the little pinky moves they had to get there. And they're going to learn to celebrate all those little things so that they can get to their big goals. We have to learn to.
You've learned so much, through the stroke. It did happen for you. Of course, things happen to us, but we wouldn't be here speaking on these platforms if we didn't go through anything. We wouldn't be creating. It's almost as if something, that emotional impact Bob Proctor talks about. It's like it happens for us to make us move and shift, our paradigms. And Lisa Nichols is great too. And, her content is what I first started following before, joining with Les or Bob Proctor. And it's just really incredible that we have these mentors, even if not personally, like you could just watch their videos to influence. And now we have you and Jason. And it's really important when you see people like from your community come up, and that's what you two are doing. So it's people remember, oh yeah, like this person was on Pratiba's, podcast, and now, they're doing this and seeing you travel, especially after COVID. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. And it's true. Like I've just in my own little circle, my family and friends and people that I know, they have followed my journey from day one because they knew me from day before my stroke, and they have followed and they've seen me progress and not stop. And I think that that's resonated with them too because they see like what happens. What if I don't stop? What will happen?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't stop. I had a stroke and I had to keep going. And everything, literally everything was taken from me. But I found it again because I focused on what I could do and not what I couldn't do. I celebrated the good that I did and not what I didn't do. So I didn't focus on the fact that I couldn't stand without assistance when I took a shower. I focused on the fact that I was standing, regardless if I was standing with assistance. I was standing.
Wow.
I was not in the hospital anymore. Like little things like that. Like when I'm in traffic and in my car, I'm not just in traffic. I get to be in traffic because there was a moment that all of that would have been taken away from me.
That's right.
There was a moment where, like, I was fighting for my life. I wasn't fighting for traffic. So the fact that I get to be stuck in traffic, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
Like
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Change the way that you look at things and the things you look at change.
Yeah. Yeah. And also just it's your mindset, it's your thinking, and that's what we learn, right? And the mentors that we have and coaches, and it really is how you think. I think it's just brilliant. I think it's brilliant that you had the support, and I think, having a great partner like Jason, I think that's amazing. And you're only going up from here. That's basically it,
Yep, all of us.
Brisa, what is your goal, like after your course? Like, what is where do you see yourself at? next year? Like, what would you like to do?
So I want to inspire people all over the world.
Yeah, you already are.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been pretty amazing. Like not too long ago, I was just sharing my story on a stage in Africa, like from my living room, of course, on Zoom, but in
Yeah.
Africa. I'm like,
Mhm.
wow, that's
Mhm.
amazing. So I want to keep doing that and just sharing and connecting with people and making a global impact
Mm.
in the way that not just stroke recovery is viewed, but
Yes.
recovery of any sort,
Yes.
recovery from a traumatic childhood, recovery
Mhm.
from abuse, recovery
Mhm.
from alcohol abuse,
Mhm.
recovery from any traumatic event that people deal with.
Right.
I want to be able to help people realize that they don't have to be trapped in
Mm.
in their body, because I was physically trapped in my body and I did have to find a way out. And I feel
Mm.
like because I found that way out, I
Mhm.
can't hold that information on how I did it. I can't hold
Mhm.
that for myself. Like it, it would be one thing to be like, cool, I'm out, I'm good now, and that's
Mm.
it. But I can't do that. I have to
No.
share my message to help other people that also feel trapped in their
Yes.
life
So.
in so many ways, because there's so many people that are walking around us and they look like they got everything all together. They look like they got everything, but they are trapped.
Yep.
They're trapped. And I want to
Mhm.
be able to help them release the chains. Just
Wow.
release it. Open the door, unlock it, because I know I can hand you the key. You gotta unlock the door and you gotta
Mhm.
step through it.
Yes.
So if I can be the instrument, the key
Mm. Mm.
to help you do that, I'm going to do that. And I want to do that all over the world on every platform that I could.
Wow. It's really important for people to know, like us as coaches and mentors and, supporters overall, we can help you and give you the wisdom, but you actually have to physically and mentally put in the work. We can't do it for you. It's their body, it's their mind, right? We can't do the work for you. And
Right.
it begins with the person wanting to change, wanting to get out of their trapped mind, because that's where I was. I wanted to get out of trauma. I was like, how do I get out of this? Like, I keep doing the same thing again and again, or people keep doing the same thing again and again to me. It's something in me that I keep taking this. I'm a victim. It's like, and then bam, it's like something shifted, something changed, emotional impact. Now I'm out of it. But it's like life has to, remember, I think Les said, that if you don't move, basically sum up, if you don't move on life, life will move on you, right? In a way that you don't want. And I don't allow that anymore. So it's really to really control yourself, have healthy boundaries, have discipline, and have a like not even to have a purpose as in, oh, even if you don't have a dream of being wealthy, most people, like there's people in the world who don't care for, money and have a different mindset, but also to have that mindset that, hey, I do deserve money. Why not me if other people too?
Yep.
But I really think it's important that whatever it is you're looking for, that it's enough just for you. It's not about what someone else thinks. It may just be, hey, I want to read 1,000 books a year, or I want to open something for the community, but you don't want to be known and you want to be behind the scenes. And that's okay too. It's not for everybody. Not everyone can be here, right? That's why we have different people for different jobs, like people who work at Wawa, people who work at corporate, people who work just volunteering,
Yep.
and everyone has their role to play, but it's whatever your mindset is set on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
That's absolutely right. I mean, if it wasn't for the people around us, we wouldn't be who we are today.
yeah.
And
So
whether
true.
it be good or bad, whether I mean, I'm sure all of us can remember a certain situation that we encountered with a certain individual once in our life that we did not agree with, we did not like, and we pretty much hated it. But if that didn't happen then, we wouldn't be who we are today. We wouldn't know what our limitations are, what
Mm,
our like what we expect. Like
mm,
honestly, there's been, even to our childhood,
mm,
going back that far, there was something that shifted in our mind, and we realized like I don't want that. I don't need that. I don't deserve that. And I'm going to move forward.
That's
And
right.
that's it, right?
That's it. It's a decision. It's a decision.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, I know when I was like I'm 28 and I was suffering years in clinical depression because of what other people did to me and to my body, you know, and felt used and things, and just super abused. And I kept allowing it over and over again until last year when I shook myself out of it. Like life shook me out of it, right? When I had my abortion of my twins. And that was the most impactful thing because it physically affected my body where I had surgery, and then it affected my mind. As a woman, your body goes into shock because something's just been pulled out of you, like literally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But, I don't even know what my point was. Like I honestly don't remember. But all I want to say is that you have to do something for yourself, you know? Yeah.
Yep. And don't be too hard on yourself when it doesn't have, like,
Mm.
this is pure example. Right now, you just forgot what you were about to say. I
Right.
earlier forgot what I was about to say.
That's right.
And many times when things like that happen, we beat ourselves up. Like, oh, I wasn't perfect. I didn't say what I needed to say. I didn't do this or that, whatever.
Let it
It
go.
doesn't matter.
Let it go in the moment.
Let it go, because
You don't,
we are all of us, we are all perfect. Everything is perfect.
Yeah.
We need to just go with it, go with
Mhm.
our soul. Our soul is telling us what to do. Our soul will tell you, like, if you know something doesn't align with you, you feel it, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and it was probably because something from your childhood that didn't align with you then, and it's now coming up to you in your adulthood, and it's showing up in something else. But you're remembering from your childhood, like, wait, this doesn't vibe with me. You don't even realize that it doesn't vibe with you because it didn't vibe with you then.
So good.
And it's trickled onto your life, and you're realizing that this is who you are. It's just been building up, and you're not accepting. You didn't accept it then, and it's just building up who you are now, and you're not going to accept it now. And you think that it you just decided, but it's really not. You're just listening to your spirit.
Wow.
Your spirit's telling you that there's something wrong here. How many times do we go into something and we're just like, oh, I got a bad feeling about that? That's your spirit telling you.
That's right. You
Like,
gotta listen to yourself.
listen
Like
to
the
yourself.
book. Yeah. I learned that. also in business. You know, I didn't listen to myself, something I know she said no to, and then I got my feelings hurt, you know? Yeah. And then it's like the book 4 Agreements, I believe it's like, you know, you listen to yourself. Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
want this was great. I definitely would like to dig deeper next time, and everyone loved it. This was great. It was helpful for, I know, Miss Tawanda, who's in the hospital. So, and Jason, you know, listen to
Tawanda, you got this, girl.
Aw, so good. Hope and imagination, you know. And yeah, let everyone know once again where they can find you and get the free gift.
So pinkymoves.com for the free gift. And then that'll just help you remember what we talked about today. Something that I believe really helped me in my journey and may help you in yours, whatever that journey may be. And if you want more information, you can just go to brisalfaro.com or begreaterofficial.com.
Hey, we're great. We're great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason, for assisting as well. Thanks for your time, Brisa.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I know, so good.
And thank you for your people, all your fans and everybody.
I have fans.
Yes, I'm a fan, girl. I'm a fan. Yes.
So good. Thank you, everybody. I hope you all have a great, what's today? Friday, right?
The first day of the rest of your life.
Woo! It's going to be a great life.
That's right.
Great life. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, guys.